On to the patch pockets. We are going to sew our patch pocket and our lining together. We're going to sew them together at the very top edge, line up your notches, and you are leaving the center open. So we're sewing on the left and the right side. Make sure they are face to face, and you're sewing this at 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press that seam open. And now we are going to line up the bottom edges together and sew around the left, the bottom, and the right. Trim it so that you can flip it right side out, and you're flipping it through that center opening. Make sure you push the edges out nice and straight. We are going to do a slip stitch with a hand sewing needle just to close that center opening, and the slip stitch is going to only be on the seam allowances, so you won't see it on the outside or on the inside. So you're just grabbing the seam allowance from the lining and grabbing the seam allowance from the self, and just barely pick up a tiny little bit at a time. So after you finish your slip stitch, make sure that knot is in place and you won't see any of the slip stitch at all. Then you want to press, and we're going to sew our pocket to our shirt front. So we are sewing right at the edge, a 1/16 of an inch away. You could even get away with an 1/8 of an inch away. Just make sure you cover up those drill holes. Everything is lined up in place, and we do not want to see any of the lining when we are done sewing. So make sure that you pressed it well so the lining is on the inside and so that the self is all we see. We don't want any of that lining fabric to peek through once it's sewn to our pocket. So notice how I am placing it so that the lining is not going to show.